Naperville gets all the hype, but there's a suburb right next to it that gives you the same lifestyle for hundreds of thousands of dollars less. And after years of helping buyers find homes in the Chicago suburbs, I keep seeing the same mistake over and over. People hear this one suburb's name, the one that tops every list, and they just stop looking. They pay that premium, they stretch their budget, and they miss out on something better sitting right next door. So in this video, I'm going to show you the suburb nobody's talking about that gives you all of that. The location, the lifestyle, the access, for a fraction of the price. Let's start with the problem very quickly. Reputation is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this market. And when you're spending $400,000, $500,000, or even more, you can't afford to be buying just the town's name. So let me start with something most buyers never look at first, and it might be the most important thing of all. Now we know Naperville gets called a Chicago suburb, and technically it is, but it sits about 28 miles southwest of the Loop. But Lombard is about 20 miles west, and that's not a small difference when you actually look at it. If you're commuting into the city even twice a week, that's roughly an extra 16 miles round trip compared to Lombard. And if we look at it from a standpoint of time saving, that's 15 minutes or more just one way. If you live in South Naperville, the commute is even longer. And it's not just driving we're talking about. The Metro Union Pacific West Line runs right through Lombard's Main Street station, right downtown, so you're not even missing out on the Metro access either here. You see, you hop on, you're in Ogilvie Station in less than 50 minutes. Now, Naperville also has the Metro station, but you're already starting a little bit further out, so travel times might be a little extra. So when you're comparing suburbs, don't just look at the school ratings and the restaurant counts. Pull up Google Maps, type your office address, see how far each town actually is from where you need to be. Now, for a lot of buyers relocating, Lombard wins this test before anything else ever comes up. But location is only part of it, because once we talk about what your money actually buys you here, that's where it gets really interesting. But before I do that, if you're thinking of relocating to Chicago or the suburbs, this is what I do every single day. So feel free to give me a call or sign up for my weekly newsletter right here. Now, Naperville has a premium baked into the price, not just for what it is, but for what people think it is. The reputation does a lot of the heavy lifting, like I said. You see it all the time. 2 houses, same square footage, same lot size, same numbers of bed and baths. One's in Naperville and one's in Lombard. Now, the Naperville house could be $50,000 to $100,000 more. Sometimes even more than that. And when you actually walk through both houses, you ask yourself, what exactly am I paying for? And a lot of times, honestly, it's the zip code you're in. Here's what I tell many people. Run a real comparison here. Don't just search by suburb name. Set your criteria, beds, baths, square footage, lot size. Search everything in both markets right at the same time. And then look what you can actually buy in Lombard for the same price as you're buying in Naperville. Most of the time, the Lombard house wins on space, finish, or even both. That extra 50 or 80K, that could be your kitchen renovation, your basement finish, your kids' college fund, maybe a Porsche. I don't know. And it's not like you're giving up convenience to save money. In fact, the opposite is kind of true here, and probably the most underrated thing about Lombard that not even everybody accounts for here. One of the first questions people ask me is, what is shopping like in Lombard? And this is where Lombard genuinely surprises most people. You see, Yorktown Center is literally minutes from most of Lombard. We're talking maybe a 5-minute drive. You got Target, Home Depot, Dick's, Home Goods, Cheesecake Factory, all right here. But here's the part that really gets people. You see, Oak Brook Center, one of the best outdoor malls in the entire Midwest, is less than 10 minutes away. Apple, Nordstrom, Pottery Barn, Tesla, most people who live in suburbs twice as expensive don't have access to everything like this. Lombard residents basically have 2 major shopping destinations on their doorstep, Yorktown and Oak Brook. And they've got everything else on Route 56 or the Butterfield corridor as well there too. So when you're touring a suburb, actually drive the radius, 10 minutes in every direction. What's around you? A lot of suburbs, they really sound great on paper, but the nearest decent grocery store is further than you actually think. Now, Lombard passes this test easily. Coffee shops, gyms, dining, it's all right there without needing to hop on any highways. Now, all this is great, but convenience doesn't mean anything if the town doesn't feel like it has soul. But Lombard, it's got more soul than most people give it credit for, and I've spent years driving through this town. Now, this one's harder to put on a spreadsheet, but it'll matter. Downtown Lombard on Main Street has a real small town inside a big suburb energy. It's real small. People don't always expect that though. You have a few local restaurants, some coffee shops, the Metro's right there. seasonal events actually showing up sometimes. It's not just a strip mall with houses behind it, I promise you. And then there's Lilacia Park. It's a world famous lilac collection. Cool, right? And in spring, people drive hours away to get to this thing. The parking throughout the town is also solid. You have quiet neighborhoods, wide streets you can park on, mature trees. It's got that you actually want to live here vibe. And when you drive around it, you're going to feel that. I always tell people visit on a Saturday morning, not a Tuesday afternoon, not a quick drive-through. Saturday morning. Are the people walking? Are local spots busy? Is there life here? Now, Lombard is going to pass the test. Drive down through Main Street, stop for coffee, walk around. You'll feel the difference between a town that has character and just houses with big box stores around them. So we've got location, value, convenience, a vibe really all checking out. But let me put the actual numbers in front of you because this is where Lombard really kind of makes sense for most people. The median single family home price in Naperville right now sits at $700,000 and it's climbing. In Lombard, you're typically looking at a median sales price for a home in the low 400s. For attached homes, condos, Naperville's about $325. Lombard sits about $250. That gap conservatively is $75,000 on an attached home and almost $300,000 on a single family home. Now think about what that means on a 30-year mortgage. Even at modest interest rates, the difference is huge. You could basically buy a home in Lombard and a Lamborghini and still come out ahead. I wouldn't recommend it, but you get the point. You're not just buying a house in a worse neighborhood. You're buying into a suburb that has good rated schools, check them out, solid infrastructure here as we talked about, and it's closer to the city than Naperville ever will be. Here's a simple exercise for you. Go to Zillow or Redfin, search Naperville for your budget, see what you get. Then search Lombard at the same number. And then knock off 50 grand off that Lombard number and see what's left. You see, that real comparison is what tells you that you can buy more in Lombard for less than you can in Naperville. Most people are genuinely shocked when that happens and they see it. Now, if any of this has you thinking about the Chicago market, where to buy, what areas to watch, what to avoid, that's exactly what I'm here for. Reach out anytime here or sign up for my weekly newsletter where I keep you updated on the market, local spots worth knowing about, and everything happening across the suburbs and Chicago, right here. Now think about this. Lombard is closer to the city. The houses are less expensive. You've got Yorktown and Oak Brook 5-10 minutes away. The town has real character, and the schools and the neighborhoods genuinely hold up. Now, I'll be honest, Naperville is a great suburb. I'm not going to trash it. You got downtown Naperville, Block 59, a massive variety of homes and prices, but you could also live in Lombard and be in Naperville in less than 20 minutes. So why not do that? Now, here's the thing. Knowing Lombard is worth looking at is only half the battle. The real question is, how do you find the right streets, the right neighborhoods, the right homes before anybody else does, right? Because Lombard is not a secret anymore. It's starting to become very popular. More buyers are figuring this out, which means competition is definitely picking up. Now, in a future video, we're going to break this town down neighborhood by neighborhood. But if you want another underrated town that I lived in for over 20 years, that I think still gets overlooked, watch this next video, and I'll see you there.